Welcome back to Ballers Find a Way, guys. For those of you who don't know, my name is Lockie and I am a football coach turned football player. I have coached in India, England, the US, and I'm currently playing semi-professional football out here in Spain. In this video, I'm going to run you through 3 common mistakes that I've seen footballers make that can really hold back your progression and, even worse, lead you to quit. To be honest, all of these mistakes I have made myself, and I've also seen my teammates make, so I wanted to break them down in this video, and if you stay until the end, I'll be giving you solutions to these really key problems. Okay, so let's get into it. The first mistake that I see so many football players making is not taking care of their sleep. If you do not get enough sleep, you are holding yourself back in so many different ways, it is not even funny. The first and most obvious way that not getting enough sleep holds you back is by preventing muscle recovery. Your muscles do not grow when you work out or when you train. They actually tear. And in the recovery process is when they grow back stronger. And sleeping is a huge part of that recovery process. So if you don't sleep enough, you are literally killing your gains, bro. Yeah, that was a horrible American accent. But speaking of gains, it is 10 times harder to maintain a good, nutritious diet when you do not get enough sleep. The reason being is that your body does not have enough energy due to the lack of sleep, so it craves simple carbs in the form of sugar to operate. I don't know if any of you guys get the same, but when I'm on less than, say, 6 hours sleep for a couple of days in a row, I just start craving chocolate, donuts, ice cream, and everything a footballer is not meant to eat. So control your sleep and it will make it so much easier for you to control your nutrition as well. And speaking of nutrition, if you want a free nutrition guide tailored specifically to football players, check out the link in my description. It is completely free. So we've talked about how not getting enough sleep can affect your body, but how does it affect your brain? Well, being sleep deprived impairs your focus, your memory, and also your ability to make high quality decisions, all of which are really important for high quality performances and learning to develop and get better as a footballer. Not sleeping enough also reduces your emotional control, meaning that you're going to find it harder to deal with setbacks and negative moments on the pitch or in life in general. And as you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, being a good footballer is not about never making mistakes. It's all in the way you respond. So I've given you all of the reasons why you need to focus on improving your sleep, but how do you actually do that? I actually think this is much more straightforward than a lot of people make it out to be. To have a good night's sleep, you need to relax your brain and you need to relax your body. To relax your brain is pretty simple. Do not go on your phone in the hour before you go to sleep. The reason being is because when you stare at your screen, it emits blue light, which your brain perceives to be sunlight. So it releases chemicals that keep your body awake. Second of all, often when you're on your phone, you're going to be scrolling social media, which will feed lots of nonsense into your brain and might keep you thinking about weird things. To relax your body, I really recommend stretching between 10 and 20 minutes before you get into bed, especially if you've trained that day. I do both of those things myself, and honestly, it's improved my sleep tenfold. If you try either of those things, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, so let's get on to the second mistake that so many footballers make that could be holding you back. This one is constant comparison. One of the problems of social media is that everyone is sharing their best moments. You see footballers posting clips of their highlights, their best dribbles, goals, assists, passes, their best actions in any match. So you're sitting there comparing some people's best moments to your worst moments. I get a lot of questions about confidence, and constant comparison is one of the easiest ways to kill your confidence. The funny truth of this is you probably see more mistakes from Premier League players or Champions League players on social media because everyone's watching. But in the lower leagues, no one's going to be brave enough to share and embrace the mistakes that they've made. So it then becomes really easy to think that everyone around you is actually a lot better than you. Falling into this trap can be especially easy after a poor performance. So my advice to you in those moments would be to stay away from social media. Don't compare yourself to this fake perfection that everyone seems to put out, and go and talk and reflect with a trusted friend or by yourself in a little journal. The only time I think comparison is helpful is when you're looking at players who are doing things better than you and you're thinking, how can I add that to my game? Maybe you want to turn like Thiago, maybe you want to be press resistant like Frankie de Jong. But even still, don't fall into the trap of comparison, because even though Busquets and Kante are both really defensive midfielders, I don't think either one of them look at the other and say, oh, I wish I was like him. Kante doesn't say, I wish I was as tall as Busquets, and Busquets doesn't say, I wish I was as dynamic as Kante. They both embrace their own individual qualities despite playing the same position. You have to lean into your own unique strengths and individual talents as a football player, and that doesn't come from copying someone who plays nothing like you. In fact, if you do that, that will kill your confidence. A different type of comparison that is just as dangerous for footballers is not just comparing performances, but comparing your life as a whole. As a footballer, you make so many sacrifices. You choose to go to the gym when other people choose to go out drinking, and you make sacrifices that a lot of people would not choose to make. But it can be easy, again, especially with social media, to see people going out to restaurants here, clubs there, and say, I wonder if I'd like to live a life like that. But I worked in a bank for a year, and I can tell you from experience that even though I might have enjoyed my money and posted moments in restaurants with friends on social media, those hours from 9 to 5 were horrible. Even though I've gone through that experience, I can still find myself falling into that trap thinking, maybe I would like to enjoy a beer at the weekend instead of go and do this brutal fitness run. But then comes the larger question. Do you want to be like everyone else, or do you want to make your own story? My advice is to focus on you. Keep reminding yourself of your why and stay consistent. Your time will come. That brings me on to the third and final mistake that I see so many footballers making, which is not learning how to deal with rejection or failure. I'm sure you've experienced those games where you play really badly, nothing seems to go right for you, and all of a sudden you're questioning whether you have the ability to go forward. But this can be a really, really slippery slope. If you find yourself in that questioning mindset and you allow that one poor performance to stop you from putting in the work, then how do you expect to improve? Stop acting as if you need to be perfect. Some of the best strikers in the world have missed open goals, and some of the best midfielders in the world have lost the ball at the worst times. Remember that if you never make any mistakes, the game is too easy for you. Yeah, of course, you could go and play with 6-year-olds down the park. Even though that would be weird, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that you would be the best player on the pitch. You would be not making kids left, right, and center and scoring top bins bangers, but you wouldn't be improving. Honestly, the more mistakes you make, the better. You have to flip your mindset on this. Mistakes are only ever learning opportunities if you're brave enough to stare at that mistake and try and say, where did I go wrong? Where can I improve? How can I make sure that I don't make this mistake again? If you got caught on the ball and lost it, don't blame the pass, don't blame the pitch. Ask yourself, did I need to scan earlier? Was my body shape poor? Could I have made an earlier decision? Remove your ego from the situation, do not take it personally, and flip it into a learning opportunity. I will echo the same sentiment when it comes to getting rejected from football clubs. The truth of the matter is that most of the time if you get rejected from a club, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Maybe that club already has cover in your position. Maybe the coach wants a really technical player in a certain position when you're more of a physical player. You have to understand that even the top level coaches have made mistakes on players. All you have to do is look at Chelsea releasing Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah, arguably the top 2 talents in the past 5 years of Premier League history, to see that it happens at every single level. If Jose Mourinho can make a mistake like that, then surely coaches at lower levels can as well. As with most things in life, the solution is to refocus on what you can control. Get down the gym, get in those extra technical reps, and remember that ballers find a way. Okay, I'm running out of space on my phone. Please comment, like, and subscribe.